This video will look at the composition of trig functions with variable expressions as inputs. So here we have the cosecant of the inverse cosine of 3w, and we are told to rewrite this as an algebraic expression using w. First, let's look at the inside part. That says the angle whose cosine value is 3w, and we're going to call that angle theta. Now, inverse cosine is defined in quadrant 1 and quadrant 2. Since my value is positive, we must be in quadrant 1. Now, since this value, 3w, is not on the unit circle, I'm going to draw a triangle. I'm going to make sure it's in quadrant 1 since I know that's where this is defined, and I'm going to put my information on. I put theta in, and then cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, so that means that adjacent must be 3w and hypotenuse 1. Next, I'll use the Pythagorean theorem to find my missing side. So finding the cosecant of theta now, we can use the hypotenuse over opposite, which would be 1 over the square root of 1 minus 9w squared. So these answers might look a little funny, and you might have to work at the Pythagorean theorem part because it might look weird, but they're not difficult. We're going to look at two more. So we're going to start with what's on the inside, and this is asking for the angle whose tangent value is u over 3, and we're going to call that angle theta. Inverse tangent is defined in quadrants 1 and 4, but since our value is positive, we must be in quadrant 1. And since u over 3 is not on the unit circle, we're going to draw a triangle. I'm going to put my information in the triangle. Again, I drew it in quadrant 1 because that's where inverse tangent is defined and the value is positive. I'll put on my theta, my opposite, and my adjacent, and then I'll use the Pythagorean theorem to find the hypotenuse. And then I'm looking for the sine of theta, and the sine of theta, according to my triangle, is right there. Last one. This one looks like a doozy, but we're going to do it the same way we've done all the others. So this is asking for the angle whose tangent value is that. We're going to call that angle theta. Inverse tangent is defined in 1 and 4, but it's positive, so we must be in 1. Now we're going to draw our triangle. I'm going to put my information on. So I have theta, my opposite is v, my adjacent is the square root of 4 minus v squared. Now I'll use the Pythagorean theorem to find the hypotenuse. So this is what I meant when I said that things might get a little messy in here. But don't let it freak you out. Just take it slow. And we end up with the hypotenuse is 2. So the cosine of theta then is there, adjacent over hypotenuse. You've got this. Have a great day.